Now, you probably have seen a lot of pictures of this throughout the day. The most iconic of British steam engines is back on the rails after a 10-year rebuild in Bury. The £4.2 million has been spent restoring the famous Flying Scotsman.
And today it left the shed at Riley & Sons under steam for the first time in a decade. It's quite noisy, I think. Mark Edwardson is there at the East Lancashire Railway for us on the footplate, Mark.
I am indeed. What a privileged place to be. And you're right, Roger, it is really noisy, but it's not as noisy as it's going to be at about 7 o'clock. Craig's with me at the moment. Craig, just tell us, you're going to be part of the engine driving team on this this particular loco in about 10 minutes when it leaves the station. What do you think about it?
Yeah, it's a brilliant machine. It's, you know, it's a real privilege to be on it. Yeah.
It is. It's fantastic. Good luck. I hope the run goes well, because there's a dining run tonight that leaves the East Lancashire Railway here at Bury Bolton Street. And this, of course, is the newly restored loco. It's in black because it's in its what you might call undercoat logo. The apple green will go on when it's actually ready for full mainline steaming a little later in the year. Now, with me is Bob Gwynn, who's from the National Railway Museum in York. It was the museum that rescued this, wasn't it, Bob?
That's right. The museum bought it in 2004 at the end of the ownership of a company that had gone bust. And then we ran it for a couple of years, and then we put it into restoration. At that point, we discovered how tired it was as a machine, and it's taken a very long time to get this point. And we're just delighted to be here, because here is marvellous, black, magnificent machine.
It is. It's fabulous, Bob. Thank you for that. Well, I've spent the day watching the Flying Scotsman coming out of its shed for the first time in 10 years and actually making steam on its way here to the station. My report contains flash photography.
Flying Scotsman, like any venerable icon, arrived at the East Lancashire Railway with a bit of help. An air pump failure, the only fault after the Flying Scotsman's 10-year restoration. And this was a run to spot those kinds of problems. The helping hand was provided by the Lancashire Fusilier.
I suddenly realised last night, today's the day.
Prior to arrival, the station master was on hand to ensure the finest welcome for Flying Scotsman.
Suddenly realised that this is possibly a moment in history.
This close up to Flying Scotsman, you can really smell the grease and the oil and the smoke and the steam. She's 93 years old, weighs 96 tonnes, and was the first British locomotive to break the 100-mile-an-hour barrier. But she won't be doing that today. Speed and luxury were bywords for Flying Scotsman, but it was nearly scrapped in 1963 at the end of its 40 years pulling carriages between London and Edinburgh. Passing through the hands of a few owners, it was eventually bought by the National Railway Museum and sent for restoration at Riley & Sons in Bury. That was 10 years ago. But early this morning, it raised steam and moved under its own power for the first time in a decade.
There's 10 years of our company's life in this. That's all the staff that we have. All been involved in, from doing the boiler to doing the bottom end, finishing the whole engine off and getting it up and running. So yeah, today is a special day for our company.
And as usual, it was left to the youngsters to do all of the hard work.
It's been really good to work with, yeah. So learned a lot with this thing, so it's still a big learning curve to go yet. So yeah, really good.
This has been a labour of love for Andy, and it's been a rekindling of an old friendship for another man.
No, I saw it on tour in Australia in 1988 for the Australian Bicentenary, and yeah, now I'm working on it.
Yeah. Did you ever think that would happen?
No, I never imagined it. Yeah, but it is. It's certainly it's the most complicated machine I've ever worked on, and it's certainly the most cantankerous and temperamental. But yeah, it's an amazing piece of machinery.
So what is it about Flying Scotsman that makes it so evocative?
It has a very significant history, and I think partly because of its association with the train of the same name, it's over the years become very much something that the public love and acknowledge.
Tonight's diner service was sold out within hours. Your next chance to spot this most prized of national treasures is tomorrow here at Bury Bolton Street Station.
Well, we're stood here by the Flying Scotsman. As you can see, lots of celebrations going on around. There's a jazz band in the background here at Bury Bolton Street on the East Lancashire Railway. With me is the chairman of the association that runs this place, Mike Kelly. So tell us, Mike, I mean, you must be absolutely made up to see this here tonight.
This has been a fantastic day all round. Great day for the East Lancashire Railway. Preservation Society in general to see this great iconic locomotive arrive in Bolton this morning and this champagne reception tonight. It's the first time in 10 years Scotsman has hauled passengers, you know, fine dining, and a great tribute to the engineers who have restored and rebuilt this great locomotive.
I take it you're going to be on the carriages. We can't quite see them from here. They're just a little bit towards my right, but you look dressed for it.
Yeah.
What are you expecting on the fine dining?
Well, we've got a 4-course meal. Tickets sold out within 48 hours. I think we could have sold them 4 and 5 times over.
Okay.
Fine dining.
Okay, so Mike, tell us what's happening this weekend, because people, you know, ordinary folk like me can come and have a look, can't we?
Tomorrow, 9 o'clock, is the start of the weekend. The public can come to all our stations, see this wonderful machine, this wonderful locomotive in all its glory tomorrow and Sunday and the weekend after.
Well, good luck with the weekend, Mike. Thanks for joining us this evening. And, that's it from me and from him.
Everyone's trying to get in on the act.
Yeah,
Mark, thank you
thank
very
you.
much. There's only 1 star in that report, though, wasn't there?
Really,
a
but what an occasion. Didn't it look fun? And some very brave ladies I noticed, though, in little outfits, little dresses. I'm not sure.
Getting a bit cold
They
for
might
little
get a bit
dresses,
chilly.
Diane,
It
isn't
is. It was so exciting to be part